I figured since we were going to do Jason's barn, we might talk to Jason about Jason's barn also. A great day at Northfield Park qualifying. Even had a little luck. I know some guy said to me, somebody messaged me and said, well, how's Jason have horses in Ontario and here? Well, Cindy Acton works for Jason. She was his second trainer. Yeah, she was his second trainer in Ontario and does a very good job. So I think it was a little unfair for you to leave to Ohio and just fire Cindy. Or send her into another barn. So we left some horses with her, and she's done a great job. Her and Jason talk all the time. And she qualified her horses this week. Now, not a great horse, and I think everybody knows that. Not a great horse, but a horse that impressed me a little bit was Better's Hope this week. I thought he looked very good. Good spot for him. Might have been actually Kawartha. I think I screwed that up. Mario went to Kawartha. Anyway, he's in to go Tuesday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday at Georgia. Anyway, Adrenaline Rush. You've never sat behind him, but neither have I. Or not for a while. He's in to go Tuesday, non-winners of 3. We'll see how he races. He's got some work to do. I thought he should have won his qualifier a little more handily. Hangs a bit. But again, we get him in the right class, get some confidence on him. Who knows what'll happen with Adrenaline Rush. Better's Hope looked good also for Mario. He's driving him Tuesday in Georgian also. Now, Bomb Hugger. Did you pay much close attention to Bomb Hugger the other day? What you think of her?
Oh, good.
She, it's up in the air. We got a lot of people asking, what are we doing with Bomb Hugger? If you were to ask me right now, I think Mark Beckwith, we've had a lot of luck with. The first Sire Stakes, which is usually in Buffalo, is actually in Saratoga this year.
Yeah.
So maybe send her to Saratoga. I can probably fly down to Saratoga and go with her, and then bring her back up here. One of our clients that owns a quarter of her actually owns horses in Buffalo, Mary. So we could race her in Buffalo, and then after that we can make a realistic judgment. Okay, this is what she is or she is not, and this is where we believe she could go. We have a number. I know I'd like to actually get a couple of races in her and send her to Mark and Ray. To be honest, is where I'd like to send her. But we'll see how that transpires over the next 5 weeks, I guess. Confederate Cruiser. What was your take on Confederate Cruiser?
Good.
Little horse got a little pop to him. You warmed him up too the other day.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that much.
Okay. No, who went with him? Oh, Justin warmed him up. Everyone
Justin warmed him up.
So you guys
I
are
trained him
seeing,
a couple times.
I usually go with the
I
babies.
jogged him the day.
Oh, did you?
I'm the after guy.
How'd
he come out of it?
How'd he come out of it?
Super.
Okay, good. So now you guys are seeing, Jason's got 45 horses or so here. They're usually focusing on the 3-year-olds and the race horses. I come in and do the babies on the other side with him. As the summer gets going on, that will all meld into one strong stable, hopefully. But for now, that's the way it is. You're not used to having 40 horses over here, so it's a little different. It's a lot of an ask, and it's worked out rather well thus far. Anyway, so Confederate Cruiser, good. Compass Rose DC. What was your take on last week, Monday? Where is she racing? Why is she racing there?
She got away poorly. Maybe Brett saw the break last week, and a bunch of them left. She got the 8-hole one scratch. Still, poor cover. Closed up good, 28-2. Could be 2 lengths for the win. We were going to the Meadows. I messaged Tim, enter the filly. During the qualifiers, she's a mare. During the qualifiers, we got a call from our friendly director of racing. We need her, short field. You got to play ball sometimes too. I mean, we are stable at Northfield Park. By short, he meant 8. Yeah. Dave being Cody's watching this, that's not short. But she drew 5. I think you said she's 2-1. Yeah, she fits here. But like you said before, she should be racing somewhere. Not enough money. $6,600, not enough money to force us to race Compass Rose DC. She should be racing for $10,000 minimum to start. And that's not me being greedy. That's me saying we have a really, really nice 4-year-old mare. Mm-hmm. They go for 10-2, 10-1s, 97 or something like that in the Meadows, and 6,600 here. But when you're short of class at the track that you're stabled at, sometimes it makes more sense to help her a little bit. So that's why she's racing Monday. But she was destined and is destined to head to the Meadows very, very soon. Duke Dio, have you seen this horse at all yet? You warmed him up one day, didn't you? And then he told me to take the head pole off him, and then he run in. I did. Yeah. That was a. He didn't run in 30. No, he did not. I'll tell you what.
Duke Dio has kind of flown under the radar. And keep in mind, let me just set the table for you guys. This is a Trixton colt. We've had some luck with Trixton, Spirited Dio and Spirited Dio, but we've had some
Deo.
Dio.
Yeah,
Dio.
Dio.
You want to go with Dio?
Deo.
Whatever. Now this colt is a Trixton. He's got two brothers that made over 100,000 and over 20 wins. One of them 24 wins, I think. But the draw to this guy is the second dam. The second dam, so his mother is a sister to Donato Hanover and all that family. So a very well-bred colt. Now the reason we got him for next to nothing off On Gate last year, him and Blue Bayou Dio, is because his left hind leg had
They came here.
sarcoma. That's right, they did. Had a sarcoma taken out of it. So a little chunk taken out of it, not a big deal, and he's never been sore on it the last little while. This is a horse, though, what I'm proud about with this horse is, this is a horse where this year, if the horses got sore on their knees in March and April, 3 weeks in the stall, 3 weeks in the pool, continue on. We decided we were going to go down that path this year. This is one of those horses, and he looked great. 2.5 in the pouring rain. Remember, I couldn't go with him the other day in the pouring rain, and Justin went
You had to
with
go to the Meadows.
Right. And Justin went with him, and he looked awesome. 2.5 last half in a minute in the pouring rain. It was pouring,
Pouring.
and it was muddy.
Muddy.
And he looked very good. I trained him today. He was very good. So happy because this is a horse that we did this with. And we learned too. I mean, you have this many babies. There's certain things that work and certain things that don't. And that definitely worked. Very, very happy there. Now, Eyes at 10. Be careful. That's easy. Eyes at 10. I've been going with her. Somebody asked me that, is she just not as good as you thought she was? It's not it at all. She's brushing one knee and brushing the opposite shin, so she's interfering a little bit, and it's frustrating and bothering her. If you watched the video the other day, she never let go of me from the start to the wire. Just pulled and pulled and pulled, and that wasn't that she's bad, because she's not. She's a sweet filly. She's frustrated, and that frustration will pass. We'll get her away from that shin, away from that knee, but not in the next 2.5 weeks. So it's unlikely that a horse we thought was by far our best filly is actually going to race in the next generation. I would say if you put a gun to your head or my head right now, there's two fillies that stand out above everybody else. Name them, or I'll shoot you.
Off Tom.
Mhm.
Another filly?
We just talked about her in the opening.
We talked for an hour in the opening.
45 minutes.
Okay.
Overalls went with her.
Orals.
Luke Ebersol.
Well, it's not the Indiana one. Purple Aura.
That's correct.
Shelby.
Purple Aura and Of Tom are ahead of everybody right now, heading into the last stages. Now, a lot of people say, well, how do you do that? Because, we paid Eyes of 10 into it. Here, pump your brakes. Here's the important thing. I don't think anybody wants to pay $10,000 to race a horse that isn't ready to race in that race. It would be unwise to race a horse that isn't prepared. It isn't that she can... She's only frustrated going fast because she's interfering going fast where she didn't going a mile in 2.6. She is going a mile in 59 2 minutes. Now, she went in 2.3 the other day. I've been in 2.1 with her, maybe 2 minutes in a piece. But we need to start changing everything on this filly. You're not going to be able to get her fixed by July 2nd. The reality is you likely won't. We'll tinker with her this week, and if somehow on that first take, that first change, if she's perfect, okay, great. She'll have no problem catching up. I'm just not sure that we'll be able to fix everything in one foul swoop. So we need to look at, one, you don't want to hurt a horse's confidence and beat them up and put them in with other horses that they can't beat right away. That is just stupid, and we're not going to do it. So unless Eyes of 10 comes forward in a big way in the next week, we have to start looking, much like Procrastinator. Luck of the Dragon is likely not going to be ready for that race. So we have to transition into, okay, where do we go now? Procrastinator, I think, is the leader and probably will be the horse we race in there. We have the option to sell the spot also. So that's a discussion I'll have to mediate between the Luck of the Dragon group and the Procrastinator group. When it comes to the filly, same thing. Of Tom, Purple Aura, I don't know. We're going to find out soon enough over the next couple of weeks, and we'll make a decision. It could be Eyes of 10, but that's a lot to ask for a little filly. It's a lot to ask for her. And again, make no mistake, this isn't a speed thing. This is a transition thing. She's transitioning and going faster quarters, and it's bugging her that she can't beat up on horses because she has her whole life. She's never been flat out trotted in her whole life. And now she has to understand that she has to take all the tools we've taught her and use them to her advantage. And she will. It's just going to take time. And who do we have the other one? Procrastinator? Oh, boy, Joyce Fire. Grace. You never got to direct. Did you go with Grace yet also?
No.
So she had moved from the top barn down to Jason's barn when we left. I hadn't gone with Grace in quite a while, and they kept telling me, Grace this, Grace that. Oh my God, she looks good, she looks great. And I'm like, yeah. Just show me on the track. 2-1, 27-4 on the end of it the other day. Yeah, Grace is okay, I guess. Everybody was pretty pumped with Grace the other day. I had Greg call me this morning and ask me about the filly, and I said, she's just put together much better than Darling Please was. She's put together properly, and Darling Please wasn't. She used to hit everywhere also, but she powered through it. But Grace looked very, very good. Granite Hill. So I need everybody to understand, we've had horses over the last 3 years. Name a couple of them. Like last year, Let's Roll On, but he hit everywhere, right?
Yeah.
The year before was that Mongrel. What the hell is that horse's name? The cousin of Lawmaker by Triumphant Caviar. Remember his name?
Oh.
Don't bother. It's not even a trivia question I want to answer. Some horses interfere, and we would hope to give them time, and they would
That was
come out.
Jarnbro.
Oh no, he was a Jarnbro, right?
Curious Winner.
Curious Winner. Those horses we hope they'll grow out of their interfering, and some horses do. Those two didn't. This horse doesn't interfere like that, though. This horse's problem is his stifles are weak. I'm positive his EPM. But we're treating it and managing it, and he's getting stronger and bigger and faster. I told everybody, just give me till June. Qualified him in June. It's June, he's qualified.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to find 5-6 seconds to be an effective horse. But again, he's a big horse with the right attitude. He's going to get stronger, and he's going to become a bigger, stronger horse. Let's not bother him and hurt him until then. And that's where we're at with Granite Hill. I really like Granite Hill. You're not going to catch me in the year 2021 saying he's just a better horse than Voyage of Ice and Fire. It's not going to happen. But he's a nice horse. We need to have nice horses. So, Globetrotting, you talked about her.
Mm-hmm.
I think multiple videos on here, you're going to hear us talk about Globetrotting. She was so good last week when I went with her. She's too good for here, and that's not in any way demeaning Northfield Park or Ohio or anything else. She needs to be racing against trotting mares. Now, I'm not saying we have to get her in with Manchego. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is a good horse. This is a better horse than she's ever been before, and I'd love to see. You said you'd love to see her at the Meadowlands. So would I. Gray is the New Red. What's your thoughts on her?
My thoughts? She was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little luck. Ryan Stahl made a break. Billy ran him over.
Okay.
So
So,
fourth.
Gray's the New Red is not a good enough horse to be racing full time in Ohio. Somebody said today, why isn't she in to go in the fair? Well, the fairs aren't going to be gimmies. When we're racing the likes of Well and Down, who would annihilate Gray's the New Red in the fairs, it's a tough spot to race a horse like her. Is she going to get stronger and probably going to win another race or two in her life? Absolutely. But we sold horses that fit better than she does. Sold GW Chrome, he could actually do in a maiden. Fox Valley Bretska, already won in 58.
Mm-hmm.
Italian Grit, sold half from to Travis and sent him back to Ontario.
He won in 58.
Won in 58. Gray is the New Red has a massive contingency of owners that love her. And I get it. I do. But at the end of the day, she's simply not good enough. And I've said this time and time again, and people have said, why don't we send her back home and race her in the condition claimers? Where? I'm not shipping Gray as a New Red home to race at Clinton Raceway. Right, Leamington. No, we're not going to do that. So I think probably over the next couple of weeks, Gray as a New Red. Listen, we've given her every opportunity to come forward. Right? She can do in the maiden. But eventually she's going to get up and beat somebody in this maiden class. And then...
She's only in on money now anyway. Or the
no,
other
was
win.
it too? Yeah. But at
'Cause
that
she's in
point,
Enterprise.
that's over. That's it. Let somebody else race her in Leamington or the likes of Leamington, because it shouldn't be us. And that's the reality of the situation. Is that Gray is New Red, pretty horse. She's just not good enough, right? And it's not great horses. First glance, just winning 54-2. He raced awesome.
He's on a racing hill. Sorry.
Bingo. He beat me to it. I was going down there. I was leading you down that path. I'm glad you got there quickly.
Sorry.
It's really not Gray's and
Where's
Red's
he
father.
stand?
Her father is, and I'm sure there's people that own Racing Hill out there or love Racing Hill. I'm not one of them. Might have been a great racehorse, but as a sire, no thanks. Harlan is not Harlan anymore. His name now is Hope's Reprisal or Reprise, whatever it is. Now here's a horse that interfered his whole life, got out of gear, wasn't really a nice horse to be around, and kind of sour on the track. Had the makings of a bad horse, to be honest, but there's just something there. He got a little bit better. Now the shoeing change that we made on Isa 10 wasn't quite enough yet, but it's almost the exact same shoeing change we made on Harlan L, or who is Hope's Reprise now, and it was right on. Bang. I've never seen him train as good. I've never seen him look as good. I've never seen him feel as good as he did the other day. 2-2 last half, 58. And if I don't know him, if I put Luke Ebersol on him and he doesn't know him, he wins the qualifier by 3 lengths. Because I know, I've seen Harlan L run at the wire, training multiple times, and he was not going to do it today in the qualifier. But in retrospect, in hindsight, he didn't offer to. And he used to touch that right jack and that left knee. Similar, the opposite of Isa 10, but similar. And now with the shoeing change, he isn't. I didn't hear him out himself at all. He was very good in the qualifier. That's a horse we could potentially race at the Meadows next week. Horse trot 58 right now at the Meadows. I know he would.
James told you.
Hill of Magic's another one. Did you get a chance to look at her? He said she was pretty hot the other day, eh?
She looked hot, but the timer was a little deceiving. I don't know.
I thought that too. 2-3 when
It
everybody
flashed
else
up
was...
32 the quarter, and I was like,
I don't know about
looked
that.
like she was. I don't know.
She, this is another filly. She just wants to do her work. She's a worker. She's not a runaway. She's not hot. She's not crazy. She's just a worker and is super excited to be on the track and qualifying. That might sound silly to everybody, but that's exactly how she is. I've sat behind her many, 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 many times. She just wants, she loves her work. She wants to do it. I'm a Lovely Lady. Fill everybody in.
I trained her today. I trained her early this morning, and we did a little work to her. First time in a couple months. She's in Wednesday night with Captain Crocs, Mr. Overalls, Joe Dirt. He's
Honest
got
to
so
God.
many names.
Honest to God, Luke Ebersol
Luke
showed up. Luke,
Ebersol.
listen. If you watch the videos, take the damn overalls off and put a training suit on or a driving suit.
Yeah, go. You're good. Kirby told me.
Yeah, I talked to Kurt. I didn't realize you guys were only in the first one. Holy shit.
Oh, we're here.
Luke needs to get the training suit. I might
He
have
said that is his training suit.
No. I have another training
800
suit.
for Irvin Vick. He paid $20 for those overalls.
They found my short sleeve training suit in the room there. I'm going to give him another one.
He had Under Armour sneakers on the other day. I was impressed.
I thought he was
I've
gonna
seen him go in Crocs.
flip flops.
Mm.
Anyway, Luke's a good kid, and he actually drives well. Qualified a number of our horses really well. Gets along with most of them. I don't think there's a horse I can't say he didn't get along with. And he's driving I'm a Lovely Lady from the rail now. Mama from the 8-hole might be a problem, but I'm a Lovely Lady should be good. Jazzy Judy not with you anymore. She's gone to Jimmy, but man, oh man, did you trained her a few times, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she jumped on your foot.
Yeah,
She has a
my
special-
toenail's still black.
She's a special place in Jason's heart.
Love Judy.
Judy's a little troubled, but you guys know the horses I fall in love with. Now that's not true because George wasn't a killer, and he never really tried 100%.
No.
But I love GW Chrome for some reason. I always usually fall in love with the horses that I know are putting out all they can. There's nothing I love more than coming off the track and knowing that horse tried as hard as it could. Doesn't have to be a good horse. Just try hard.
All the slow miles, she got better every time you trained her.
She
Better.
draws on it. She's an athlete. You train her and then go back over the next week. She's better and better and better. You're 100% right.
The very first time she trained this year from here, I was like,
Even the
before
other
you were
day.
down here, I was like,
Even the day she made a break the other day in the qualifier, as soon as she caught back trotting, I slammed her up onto somebody's helmet and just let her settle. And it was like she just needed to catch her breath, and then I moved her out to attack, and she is merciless when you move her. At no point, young horses usually when they clear to the front, they'll look around and wait. Not her. It's like no one else is on the track. She has no mercy for anyone, and I love that about her. Luck of the Dragon. What's your take on Dragon?
I sat behind him one time, and he flipped his palate and had throat surgery.
Good call.
True story.
So you got to be careful with this word surgery,
Uh,
because people have to understand that it was a more minor procedure.
he
now.
wasn't.
Flipped his palate, but you didn't know he flipped his palate until after you scoped him.
Yes.
So the thing was, it wasn't that he flipped; it was more that he was
He
entrapped.
doesn't want to go sit in, so
Where are we going?
I just said he doesn't want to go out to eat
Why?
because he doesn't want to go sit somewhere. Where are you
Was
guys
he
going?
busy? I don't know.
I'm
He's
going.
home.
I'm going home.
Applebee's.
He'll be done in a minute.
5 minutes. Applebee's.
I'll tell him.
F Timmy.
Okay,
Might just
You
come
keep it PG.
it's true. So
He was never knocked out or.
yeah, I never heard him make a noise. We scoped him because he wasn't the same luck of the dragon as he was home.
I've seen him. First time I sat behind him in all seriousness, but I've seen him train,
He's trained
how many
so good
times?
all winter. He just looked like a killer.
and he was
And ever since we trained him over here, he just kind of so.
empty.
And what's that?
He was empty.
Yeah.
He did not feel
but
like the
he
horse
was
I've
empty.
seen.
His lungs were empty.
Yeah.
You can't breathe. You can't breathe like that. And I'm glad he's fixed. I'm interested to see what he's going to train like now that we got him fixed up. Unfortunately, that's going to keep him out of the next generation more than likely. But at the same time, excited to see what he's going to do moving forward. Now, and Matt's MVP, Travis got him around again the other day. Looked good.
I'm negotiating him coming back Thursday to go with him, but it's not going well.
It's not going well. He'll come back. We give him a horse to ship or something. He'll come back. Miss Meringue. I told
Meringue.
everybody she's behind, same as Rose Run. Why not? But these are both fillies that I like. Miss Meringue made 20,000 or plus on the B tracks last year. Rose Run. Why not? I thought was a killer. They both come out. They both had deficiencies, I guess is the way to put it. Behind. They're both better now. Moving forward. Did you train Miss Meringue yet or no?
No.
We'll start training her
Middle of
next
the week, end of the week.
Mama Knows Best raced great the other day, but was in heat real bad. 8-hole this week.
Mm-hmm.
Luke's gonna have to probably put his conservative gloves on.
I'm thinking duck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
duck goose. Out of the 8-hole, this filly still got a long summer ahead of her, so we can't
She's
help
still
her.
got like 3 weeks to the next Buckeyes. So
Yeah, July 5th.
Yeah.
We can't pick where we draw all the time. She raced well the other day. If I stay in the 2-hole, I'm third. But she really felt like that was like with Mama Knows Best. She doesn't really advance in the turn, but if you can creep her up alongside the leader, she'll get it done. And that's what I figured she'd do. She'd just hang out, inch up along, and then take off. But it didn't work out that way. Got passed on the left and the right. Even got urinated on. Truth be known.
Mm-hmm.
And
You look though. She trotted 57 flat.
she did, yeah, in the mud.
In the mud.
And there's no,
rain.
it was fat. It was
It was
muddy
miserable.
and a
Rotten.
bad track.
Filthy.
So Mama Knows Best, getting better. Miss Brampton Beast qualified twice. First time she was good. Second time the hobble hanger broke. She's going to be in to go next week at Georgian Downs, right? Yes. My Jazz. We talked about My Jazz in the opening. If you want to hear about My Jazz, fast forward to the end of the opening. You'll get a very clear, and you showed them a picture on your phone, a very clear picture of what went on with My Jazz over the last week. It was pretty incredible, and we were very fortunate how it turned out. So My Jazz will be ready for the 5th. We're looking to get her back here to Northfield. She's in Pennsylvania right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Get her back to Northfield, get her patched up, or get her patched up there, get her back to Northfield, get her trained up, and hopefully get her going.
In case everybody doesn't watch the opening.
There you go.
That's My Jazz's foot.
That's how her foot looked. She didn't have one, not two, but 3 quarter cracks. One was a foot separation, and it was all hidden in behind where it was very difficult to get at. You really had to stop, take everything off the foot. So they dremeled a lot out. It was cool how they put the bluing on it and then let it settle so you could see what was going on there. It was really interesting to see and made sense from what I could see. I couldn't figure out what was going on with her. What I saw on the track was exactly what they showed me on the foot. And just very lucky that they did what they did. Of Tom, I know that there were some Of Tom haters back in Ontario that really didn't. She acted up sometimes when she was young. I love them. I love the filly to death. She acted up sometimes when she was young and created almost a civil war in the barn where there were some people that didn't like her and people like me that loved her to death. And I didn't know. If you had asked me 3 weeks ago, I couldn't even tell you if she was a Sire Stake filly or a Buckeye filly or a Fair filly. I didn't know if she'd be able to pack on the weight and the muscle to accelerate the way she needed to. And it wasn't until we trained Luck of the Dragon with her That was the first time I ever saw her sprint and carry her speed. I can't wait to race this filly. She's such a treat to drive. Just a beautiful, beautiful filly. Now, Osopine we talked about also. What's the plans for him this week?
I don't know.
Well, we gotta
Meadows.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're working on the foot first. He's sound.
Yeah, so that horse won the other night and then hit a quarter crack lead, a bar shoe on him right now. I guess what's he? I can't race the Meadows this week. That's a Class Tigers, and I think numbers is 7,000. Does he not fit something here out of the Open still, or just the Open?
No, they went for. No, he wouldn't have to go in the open here.
Yeah,
He
we'll
can go-
see.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it in the opening also. This is a horse that's up for sale, and I think now is the time, and that's the number to sell him for. But we're not giving the horse away. I think he's been a great horse for us, not just right now, but for 3 years. Been a good horse and done a lot of good for the stable, and I think he'll continue to race great his last start for Billy, and really, really happy with him. Both you and Billy have done a great job with him. One to skip a few of you, Seppi under it all. You don't know much about this filly yet.
Well, I had her back in December for a while.
Oh, that's right too.
Yeah.
That's right too.
But recently, no, I haven't.
Her name is appropriate.
Yeah.
She does get a little skippy, but she wants to do her work. She's a worker. And I think between the Buckeye and the Ferris, we're going to have a lot of luck with her. I don't think, not from what I've seen yet anyway, she's a sire stake filly, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's going to be lots of horses. In fact, there's going to be lots of people that think they have sire stake fillies that don't have sire stake fillies. We have a nice filly. She'll do her work. All you have to do is show her where the winner's circle is, and she'll get her picture taken if you let her. She's a winner again. She likes to work. Prairie Fire, probably a letdown the other day, but you see his feet. He's going to get shot badly. Man, oh man, he's got a 4-inch toe. He touched his elbows the other day, but it's no shock. 4-inch toe and a 5/8 round trotting shoe on up front. Not really that shocking that he get up into those elbows. We'll lighten him up, chop his toes off, and go again this week. This is a horse people are going to have to keep an eye on. He's been in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This horse has been in 2 minutes already. Qualified in like 2, 2, and 3, and somebody said, he didn't look that good. I can assure you he's a good horse. Right? He can go. We want to come a half in 57 and a piece of Bomb Hugger and him 2 weeks ago right here. I'm glad he only went in 2-3. Back him up speed-wise, and then we'll let him rock. Procrastinator. What's your take on him? Oh, my God.
I don't want to call him an overachiever because he's never
He
hasn't raced yet, but compared to 4 or 5 months ago,
It might go down. He might be the biggest one. Like My Jazz was last year. She went from, and she was entered in the Ohio sale last year also.
Compass
and then
Rose the year before.
what? That's right too.
Rosie was in the sale.
Rosie the year before. My Jazz and Procrastinator. It's a good trend. Procrastinator was incredible the other day. Wrapped up, earplugs in, 28-1 on the end of it. Just looked really, really good. Purple Aura. Looked pretty good.
Very good.
She's only had the hobbles on in her entire life 2 weeks, and she was really good. I know Luke was pretty enamored with her when he pulled her up. He said, "This is a killer. This is a nice filly." She is a nice filly. A little surprising. Very happy with what I saw from her. Rose Above It. That's the guy with no head checking the screen on that Travis went with.
Mm-hmm.
Again, kind of got lost first over. Another horse, him and Harlanelle, if they split and they go with two by chance, go with 2 trots at the Meadows. These guys may end up at the Meadows
You got
this
the
week.
Profit horse on there? You skipped the Profit horse?
I think I did.
You skipped Compass Rose last week. I think it was.
Luck of the Dragon went down. Did.
No, just skipped him.
I skipped Massive
One
Profit.
of
Good
my
catch.
top 3. You just bailed on.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm glad you love him. I love this horse to death. I think he's a good horse. We jumped
He's
over
going to
Massive.
Irv, right?
Yeah, he's going to
Because
Irv.
my
Miller.
training average in Indiana history,
Not good.
0.
There you go. Irv is going to get spent and Massive Profit in the next 2-3 weeks or so. I just think he's an incredibly nice horse, and I think you're right. And now, I didn't get a chance to see him the same way you did in the qualifiers because I was in there, right? Forget who I had. Massive Profit.
I just had it here.
Doesn't matter. I think the horse looked incredible the other day, so you're right. Good catch.
Professional. That's the word I'll use. He
Professional.
looked professional.
He looked professional.
He
That's
did.
right. And I'll tell you what was surprising. I missed him, so I didn't have the same purview you did on him. But Irv Miller brought him up too. He said, "I was talking about
Eyes of
Spent."
10.
Oh, I had Eyes of 10.
Yeah.
I was talking about Spent, and he said, "No, that other colt looked really good too. The Prophet colt," and he brought it up.
I'm
Right.
watching on a little TV right in front of my face, so it's just
Yeah.
like I'm watching the races.
Yeah, no, he's been. I said that, as I said to you. I said a couple of months ago. He was my number 2 pick overall. I thought he was incredible. Where are we at here? I jumped over him. Rose Above It might be going to the Meadows. Rose Run, why not? Same as Miss Meringue. Just fell behind and had some issues here and there. They're patched up. They're back going. They're ready to go again. but it's going to take a little bit of time. We're getting there. Spend That Money is a filly you know all too well.
Mhm.
I wanted to get back and go there. I have been able to. There's a 15 claimer for Non-Wars of 70 in Georgia next week. So I had talked to Cindy and you about putting her into qualify on Tuesday, potentially Tuesday back Saturday. She needs a fast mile, and I'm not confident. Do you know what they're doing in Ontario? Have you looked into it as far as schoolers? I know when Cindy had told me
They
she
sent a
looked at
text
it.
the other day. I think I want to say they're schooled today.
If they're not, and that's the only reason I'd said to Cindy maybe put her into qualify, was if they aren't schooling, she needs a fast mile. James can get a look at her and go with her.
Knows her well.
And knows her well, exactly. Spent That Money's brother is next.
Mhm.
So Spent, look good, touch that left hind ankle. I talked to Pat about making a shoeing change on him. We're close, very, very close to having him perfect. Just a hair away, but very, very close. Stonebridge Simba, I forgot how finicky he was until I saw you train him that day, and he was throwing his head and being a slob because he had a snake cord in his mouth, and he'd worn that snake cord many, many times. He just hates it. What did I train him with the other day? Mini bit? Yeah, it was mini bit and a line pole on the
Mini
left.
bit line pole.
Bit burr too, or no?
Yep.
Bit burr, line pole, mini bit. I can tell you, I trained Simba off and on 2, 3, and as a 4-year-old, I haven't sat behind him much because he was here with Billy Rhodes in the winter.
Mhm.
But I can tell you that's the best I've ever seen Stonebridge Simba the other day. He was nothing short of incredible. That's the best I've seen him corner. That's the best I've seen him hold his speed. Last half in 56 by himself. And again, this isn't Tamiko. This is Northfield Park. This is what we went. Official right here. And he was incredible. So I think we're both on the fence about when to qualify him, but I think maybe this week might be better and to give him a spot. I guess, to be honest, it depends on what happens with Oso Pine, right? If Oso Pine leaves, there's a spot there right away.
Yeah.
And I think that plays a role in my mind anyway. Sweet on Pete, did you watch her go?
Who's she in with?
I've sat behind Purple Aura with her the whole way. She's got a nice gait, doesn't she? That's Uncle Peter filly. And a lot of
Big filly,
people, had seen her make breaks in the winter, and some people jumped off and bailed her for next to nothing. And I told everyone, this is a big, good-looking filly.
Yeah.
A good-looking filly out of a very good family. Just relax.
I had her in the winter too. I liked her.
Yeah,
I liked
she's
her a lot.
nice. I like this filly a lot. And keep in mind, I had trained Purple Aura in 2 minutes before she qualified in 2 minutes. This filly had been in 2.6, and people have to understand it's not that easy. You know, for a very gifted horse, you had to go out and go whatever. When you're talking about training horses, that jump isn't easy to do. I guarantee you, the next time you see Sweet on Pete go fast, she'll look a lot different. Now, I don't want to qualify her this week because she's bigger. She's got a big, heavy frame on her, and I don't want to even give her the opportunity to get a little sore somewhere. So we're just going to go easy with her this week. Tanzanite Tricks, she didn't get in. Gotta find a place to race her this week, maybe Thursday.
Georgian or Mohawk? How
think
many maidens we
Mohawk.
got at Mohawk?
Not that many, I don't think. Walking the Moon raced at Kawartha today.
Well, he
He's
won't
not
be.
in. Northern Blizzard's not. Where's it 2? I don't know if we have any. 1 or 2 maybe. Camp Muscle Me's in at Grand River. So I think,
Thursday?
yeah. When do you enter in to go? Mohawk Thursday. Philly qualified in 58. I was super happy with her.
So good.
She did. That's my girl. Broken Hobbles.
2 starts. Anybody who works at Jack's and you're watching this by chance, 2 starts. Your straps suck.
So the Trot and Hobbles, we swap out the pulleys. We got really good pulleys on them. Now the strap that goes from that pulley back to the bike, the nylon strap, you should be able to tow a car with it. And Jason said he raced her twice in that strap.
We
in a pro.
qualified her, and I saw some loose threads, so I panicked and put a bunch of tape on it, and I swapped it out after the qualifier, and that was her second start
Yeah.
in a brand
So
new
make no
strap.
mistake, just so people know, I had a lot of people ask me, this filly, she's so frustrating. That filly was perfect the other night. Best she's ever been in her life. I would have win from here to Mumbai with that filly. She was going to win by 6-7 lengths easy. I was just about to turn her loose into the backstretch, and she would have inhaled the entire field. She was the best she's ever been the other night. Strap let go, and I just pulled her up. I saw it. You can feel, as a driver, you can feel that little pull. You can feel it let go, and I knew as soon as I said, come on, man. The day I was having, just got back from Path of Totality and Won My Heart making breaks, and in the pouring rain nonetheless, and then that happened.
And she's a known offender. When she run, I said, "Are you kidding me? She run again?" And
no, she was perfect. She was awesome. 3-point blue chip. We talked about him in the opening extensively. This horse will be ready when he tells me he's ready. He's undefeated training here. He's been good. He's been in 2-6, 2-6, 2-5, 2-7. He's doing it right. But when he tells me he's ready to rock, that's when we'll go with him. And he hasn't told me that yet. So that's where we're at with him. If you want a more drawn-out explanation, go to the opening. I talk about 3-point blue chip and what my plan would be for him. I envision him maybe even ending up in the Ben by Bergeron barn in August. And I haven't even talked to him. Maybe he's full. Maybe can't take him. I have no idea. But if he continues on the trajectory, stays sound, stays as focused as he looks like he is, I could see this horse getting to Ben's barn maybe in August. Twinbee Habanero, Twinbee Sunkist brother.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you didn't have much time with him before he left.
For a while.
Did you train
When
him
he
much?
came back,
from swimming, right?
before
That's
he
right.
went swimming.
Oh
when he
yeah,
came
we didn't
down
do a
from the
whole
barn.
lot with him then.
No,
He
just
jogged
a lot
and
of
trained him,
slow-
but yeah.
Slow miles.
He's been in 2-7 at Mohawk. Probably go back to Mohawk this week. I'd say 2-5. No rush with him. Big colt. Just gonna take some time. James said he was good the other day, but again, big horse. Gonna take a little bit of time. You Gotta Believe rolled off. They didn't chart him in the break.
No.
Tell Michael Carter to wake up. Come on, Mike, wake up.
Michael.
He made a break getting in the last turn the other day. We really started to step on it. I think that was of Tom's crew. And they really started to step on it getting in the last turn. I think Justin chased him to catch up, and he just rolled off stride. This guy's getting his bearings, too. And this was a horse, I talked to the vet today. He wanted to iodine his stifles, and we didn't do that yet. So he's probably going to have to do that on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeatable Kemp. Sore spot for me. I'm going to let you talk about Unbeatable Kemp.
It's Amy's horse. I don't talk about him.
You're terrified of Amy.
Made a break.
Amy loves this horse, and it was my fault. I told her to take the hood and the mini bit off the horse, and I shouldn't have. And he was exceptionally good and exceptionally bad all at the same time. I'm glad that he's hot and wants to go. He wasn't crazy hot. He was just, it was like somebody, I don't got a hood on anymore. I don't got a mini bit. It's go time. And that was my fault. But I suspect he'll come back really, really good soon. I'm almost toying with the idea of not going Thursday, but going to the Meadows.
Tuesday.
5/8 mile track, getting him to see how he feels. I think I'm leaning towards that. No Thursday. Tuesday gives us 11 days. He does have a splint that bothers him, so it might be worth it. Voyage of Ice and Fire. We both have talked about him. I love this horse. I thought he was awesome the other day. Big finish on the end of it the other day. Just really, really impressed with him. This would be a horse where I could be talking and taking him to race at Scioto once. You know how spooky he can get around things?
Yeah.
It might make sense to race him at Scioto once in the maiden. Well and Down, we've talked at nauseum about this filly. We both love her to death. Can't fault her in any way. She's a really nice filly, but we all have our limitations. And she has now reached what she can do here at Northfield Park. If somebody wanted to buy her down around the Scioto area and try her down there, fine, go ahead. I did have it in my head that we might race her once at the Meadows, and then that class went in 52 and 3 the other day. Squash. There goes dreams. So we'll see what happens over the next week or so with her. West 50. You don't actually have him up. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. This is a sore spot.
7 hours. That's all.
7 hours. But did you have fun?
It was okay.
So Jason drove West 52nd. He made a break in the amateurs. He's claiming interference, although I looked on the line officially. There's no IX.
I called. They said, well, it's already official. That was the judges. They said, well, it's official. You got to call faster.
Huh.
I got off the bike, and Tim said, the phone's right there. So I go in. I said, you guys see that in the turn? And they said, well, you got to call us quicker. It's official.
Huh.
I said, I just
How
got
did I
off
know?
the bike.
You need to get off the bike quicker is what they were saying.
I took too long on the bike.
You got to get off the bike faster.
I guess.
Anyway, West 52nd made a little break. For the people out there saying, well, why'd we race him in an amateur race? Why'd Jason drive him? Well, here's the thing. If we didn't, he wasn't getting raced. How's that? Because he was scratched on Wednesday. The only way he got in to go was the fact that they needed a horse for that amateur race.
Yeah,
so,
they're going with two
and that's a
6-horse
good
field.
horse. You know, I wouldn't be shied away from putting him back in an amateur race and racing again. It's not like we can find a ton of classes for this horse. The class for him is the 15 to 20 claimer at Scioto.
Mm-hmm.
That's a class for him.
Yeah.
But will we have him long in there? You don't know. A pretty useful horse, but in the right class again. We gotta find a spot for him. So we probably have some horses to head down to Scioto with this week. Truth be known, we're gonna have to. It's Saturday. We'll take Sunday and take a look at the classes and where the horses need to go. And they usually start drawing on Monday. So we'll see what happens this week. As for me, Monday we have That's My Girl going again. Compass Rose DC going again. For those of you that are gamblers out there, I would think both of them are in a good spot.
You're gone Wednesday. That's why I put her right back in Monday. Plus, she didn't race
That's
the full
right, I
race.
would have been upset.
She raced half a mile. So
Monday she's fine. Tuesday, but we're not racing anything Tuesday, are we?
Paulding.
Oh yeah, Paulding. Well and down in Paulding on Tuesday. Wednesday I fly to Harrington Raceway. We race Mama Knows Best and I'm a Lovely Lady here. Thursday, anything? I guess that's to be announced. Qualifiers. No, we got a ton of qualifiers here on Thursday. And then after that, I don't know. We're going to have to see what's going on with Scioto this week. What's going on. Tim has horses at the Meadows this week. Spirit of Dio's class goes Thursday. So we're going to have to see what happens with horses at qualifiers. So it could be a chaotic timeline on Thursday. I may have to fly back. Truthfully, I may have to fly back Thursday morning. Get here just in time to qualify our horses, and may have to leave at some point in the middle to go race potentially Spirit of Dio. And if there's a class for Harlan or something over there, this is going to be a crazy end of the week for sure. And there's going to have to be discussion of timelines of what goes on. Maybe some of the horses I don't need to qualify, might need to go in early and late. I can stay somewhere in the middle and go with something. So we'll see. Everything's up in the air. Nothing is confirmed for next Thursday or Friday. We will have 15 or 16 horses going. Justin might want to go do a deal again because
You got along with him. He was good.
So we'll see. But for now, that is Jason's Barn. Obviously, in a very elongated Jason's Barn at 40 minutes. But at the same time, hear it from the horse's mouth right here. Jason will tell you all about the horses for the last week and this week.
Just ate supper. Everybody's good.
I'm going home to eat supper myself. We'll
They
talk
ate
to you guys soon. Hope you're having a great weekend. Take care.